Welcome everybody. Welcome everybody to Chatting with Chat and Karen this evening. It is election day, November 8th, 2022. And we've come to uh, talk about some interesting things, especially when it comes to the election and Black people. And then we're going to move into Kanye West, of course, and Kyrie Irving. I think we're going to have a pretty good show tonight for you. We're not going to hold you too long because, of course, here in Las Vegas, it is raining like crazy. And I apologize for making us late. I was actually leaving an appointment and I was stuck in the rain. So I apologize for making everybody late plus Karen. So, but we are here. We are here. We are here and we are live with you and we are getting ready to get it popping. So, Karen, how is your afternoon?
My afternoon is uneventful, which is good. Which is good. I've got out and I voted early. Um,
Okay.
and so did that. And I've been kind of monitoring the comments and stuff online about people's experiences and how they think the polls are, who's going to win and whatnot. And so, yeah, pretty uneventful, mild.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So, but let me ask you, how were you able to get in the lines pretty fast? Were
Yeah.
you able
Well,
to get in and out?
yeah, I was early. About 9 a.m. I
Yeah.
went to
Yeah.
the school and very
Okay.
few there were people coming in constantly, but there was
Yeah.
no line.
Nice.
Got in and out, handled everything within about 10, maybe 15 minutes.
Oh,
So
nice.
yeah, it was good. I took the kids so they could see the whole process.
Wonderful. Okay. Okay.
So yeah, there was a few other kids in there too. So
That's good.
yeah, it was exciting. I
Okay.
enjoyed it. So
Okay. I I did not vote this time. I usually vote in the primaries and the
mhm,
general elections. I didn't vote. I've been kind of a little disheartened
mhm.
in voting. Actually, I'm a very big advocate for voting um during the primaries because voting in the primaries, dictate who's running your city.
Right.
So I am, but when I look at the choices,
Right. Oh, yeah.
when I look at the choices, I mean, all these commercials and
Mhm.
you really have to learn the candidate. And one of the commercials about Catherine Cortez Maestro that I really, really paid attention to, which
Mhm.
is very common. These politicians, they go into the position with no money. And then all of a sudden, 2 or 3 years later, they're millionaires.
Mhm. Mhm.
And so that's a problem for me. What is it that you guys are doing that are making you guys millionaires? Are you guys getting all the contracts? Are we running our business through those contracts? We know that that's what Sisolak and his wife has been doing. She's been privy to some of the contracts. But I
Mhm.
mean, at the end of the day, can I fault them? Because I would do the same thing for my husband. You know, my brother, if he's in business, you know what? You know, um, if my brother's in business, he has a legitimate business, and there's a contract that's available, I'm gonna give it to him.
Right.
But the problem is that it would be something different with a Black person doing that, and when a white person does it, it's always just the nature of the game.
Right.
I mean, you have to really, really pull some millions out the bank, for them to kind of come at you or um, investigate you.
Mhm.
But I mean, they all do it, So to me, in my opinion, it's like, what am I really voting for here? And for those of you that are listening, especially across the country, Um, I live in Las Vegas, Nevada, and so does Karen.
Yeah. Hmm.
And so we're talking about the primary candidates here. And so I have not just I'm not I, I'm not impressed by any candidate. I do like Sisolak though.
Hmm.
I like Sisolak. I like him because he is inclusive with diversity. And I mean diversity when it comes to Black people. You
Mm.
know, now they have this thing where diversity is basically a white woman in a position. You know, I
Right.
think a
They
lot of
snuck
people,
them in.
yeah, well, a lot of Black people get frustrated because they don't understand that and they don't have anybody to tell them that. But here I am, for those of you listening, especially you young people, this is what diversity is. Diversity has nothing to do at this point with people of color or Black people. Well, I'll say Black African American because people of color has been categorized in so many different areas.
Right.
So when they say diversity, that can mean a Mexican, Hispanic,
Hmm.
someone of Hispanic background.
Hmm.
That could be a Pacific Islander. That
Right.
could
Asian.
be a Chinese,
Hmm.
Japanese. So people, Black people, I want you to understand that when you go into a position and you see someone and you say, well, dang, there's no diversity here. There are no Black people. There actually may not be any people that resemblance your color, but at the end of the day, I can guarantee you there is some Hispanics. There are some Pacific Islanders there, which are considered to be a part of diversity. And
Right.
and just to include that, like I stated before, white women is considered
Mhm.
diversity.
Right. Hello.
Okay,
Getting
so
snuck in.
let me clear that up and get that out the way for some of you that are coming up that are working regular jobs so you don't get frustrated like I did for 20 years
Hello.
because nobody gave me the game
The heads
to
up.
understand what I
Hmm.
was going through. Well, you didn't get that position because you Black and you don't fit.
Right.
You know, it
Hello.
took me a long time to understand what that means and to really break it down and um you know and to really get the understand it,
Right.
to really understand it. And I want to um let me pull up this book because I read this book and it was so real to me.
Hmm.
I read this book by Tariq Nasheed
Hmm.
and it's called Foundational Black American Race Baiter.
Hmm.
And in that book, he breaks it down. I mean, even though he's been talking about this stuff for a long time,
Hmm.
you know, unfortunately, reading this book at my age, it really disturbed me and bothered me because it's like, wow, I wish somebody would have given me the game 20 years ago.
Right.
So I could have made some different moves
Hmm.
because, you know, you're kind of taught, um, you're kind of taught, you get out of high school, you go to
Yeah.
college or you get a trade and you do
Hmm.
these things. And if you do good, you'll
Hmm.
move up the ladder.
Right.
You'll move up the ladder. You're the next in line. Well, that
Hmm.
don't always happen for us,
Well, it
you
did
know.
rarely. It
Right,
rarely happens for
right.
us.
Right.
Hmm.
Rarely works for us. So we have to sit on jobs for 20 and 30 years. And after about the 25th year, they want to promote you to manager or supervisor when you on your way out the door.
Right.
So when they've been supervisors and managers, they only had to do their job, sit in their position for 2 or 3 years and promote the supervisor and be a
Hmm.
supervisor for about 10 years and then be a manager for about 10 years and then they can retire out as an admin and all that kind of other
Hmm.
stuff. So yeah, I'll talk about that another day because honey, I could go in for days about the bureaucratic bull crap that goes
Right.
on at these positions. But back to the election though. I've been really disheartened by the candidates because I'm just so sick of all the antics.
Hmm.
I'm sick of all of it. I'm tired of all of it. And at this point, I'm not going out there and voting just to go out there and waste my time to say I voted. And I think um with some of us, with black people, we vote emotionally.
Right.
We vote emotionally. We emotionally charged to vote. Well, our ancestors died, which is absolutely false. Um, our ancestors did what they needed to do to vote. None of them went out that door to say, "I'm gonna die today in the name of voting." I mean, things happened along the way.
Right.
And I think we're so emotionally charged. Well, I'm gonna go vote just because my ancestors died. Okay, so at the end of the day, so what I also hear is, well, we need to vote for the lesser evil.
Yeah.
Well, it's all evil, so aren't you voting for evil?
Right. If you look
So
at it that way.
yeah, I don't understand. Like even some of these church members, I don't understand when you say in your mind, well, we're just voting for the lesser evil, but it's evil. And the great Dick Gregory said that. The late great Dick Gregory
So,
pointed those issues out. We're still, our voices are not being heard. We are still in the same place that we were in almost back in the 60s.
right.
At
Hello.
this point, we have gone backwards.
Backwards.
And unfortunately, um, there are people out there who feel like, well, you know what? Me and my husband are doing well, um, um, we make 80,000. The wife makes 60, 70. The husband makes 80, 90. Well, we're well off. So, those black people issues are not really our issue anymore.
Right.
The issues that we had before, those aren't our issues, you know, not realizing that you bringing your kids up in a racist world. So we have these expectations to think that our children are not going to go through anything. We are really in a bad place, especially the climate, especially when we get on talking about Kanye and Kyrie Irving.
Right.
But I've just been, I'm not feeling the candidates. I don't want to go out and give my vote to somebody that can't tell me what the black agenda is. I want to know, what is your agenda for Black America?
Right.
What is it that black people are getting in this state? Black people only. I am sick of the Democrats who are talking about always inclusiveness. I don't want to be inclusive anymore, because you know what? We have a Mexican Chamber of Commerce. We have all these other groups that
Mhm.
have their own things, that
Right.
get their own money. But when it comes to black people, we have to be lumped in with everybody else.
Right.
And so I'm kind of done with that. So no, you don't get to get my vote for free. What you get to tell me is what are you going to do
Specifically.
specifically
Mm.
for Black Americans who are struggling, who are in need
Hmm.
of housing, because that's a big thing right
Yeah.
now
Hello.
in Las Vegas. We've given all these bad ads about people. The only person that I really heard talk about a little bit of the condition of what we're in is Sisolak. Everybody else pledged their allegiance to the police department.
Right. Right. Hello.
Adam Laxalt shouldn't be
Hmm.
making decisions for women. He was against Roe v. Wade. Well, hell, I'm against Roe v. Wade. And every black person should be too, if you really know what it's about. You know? Um, but but and I'm sitting here looking at the commercials like
Mm-hmm.
this one lady, white lady, blue-eyed
Mm.
white lady asking me,
Asking you.
asking me
Mm-hmm.
that I should not vote for Adam Laxalt because he um doesn't believe in women's rights, but I should stand with her.
Mm.
I'm thinking to myself, lady, is you crazy? Because I always remember this, and
Mm.
I find myself reminding people in my golden years at this point.
Mm.
I'm calling them my golden years.
Mm.
Uh, my golden years is this. Don't you ever forget who was making sheets for the Ku Klux Klan, okay?
Yeah.
Don't ever forget that. Don't ever forget that. Who was raising their children, cooking their meals, preparing the meetings, and all
Mm.
these things? Who do you think was standing next to them? So, you putting a white woman on TV telling me to not vote for somebody is mute to me.
Okay. I'm
And
not.
I'm being honest with that. I'm looking at her, girl, her eyes ain't even bucked. I said, dang, is she gonna blink? Hey, no, you're scaring me. I'll vote for Adam Laxalt if I have to. I, I
I'll
don't I don't want nothing you have going on, lady.
lady, you're so funny.
I just So how did you feel about the candidates and how the election has gone down? And um, what's on your mind?
Well, for me, the candidates, they're pretty much the same.
They
Uh,
really are.
Pretty much the same candidates,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not excited. You know, usually there's an excitement kind of about it. I was more driven to the poll. Um,
Mm-hmm.
for different reasons. So it
Okay.
wasn't exciting. And my excitement and interest isn't, I'm interested in what happens, of course,
Right.
who wins. But my interest and my focus has actually been on Georgia.
Oh
Uh,
yes,
I'm really interested to see if they are going to go with Herschel Walker.
they probably are.
I, I, I,
You
I
know
yeah.
why? You know why? Is because Warnock is it. If you're gonna, mm.
Let's say it. Go
Well,
ahead.
first of all, let me just say this:
Okay.
Warnock is a pastor, okay?
Mhm.
And you mean to tell me that you're not against people aborting black children? And I'm just saying this in general. Most black people are conservative, whether they believe it or not.
Mhm.
I'm just being honest with you. Most black people are conservative. We don't want to believe that, but we are. And so I want to believe that Warnock, um, he's not. Go to the pulpit. Just go on back in the pulpit and do what you do. Representing the people is not something that you're good at doing because you're gonna fold. What we need is black people in position that's not going to cave.
I do agree with that.
That's what we need. We need black people who are not going to cave, And so I think Warnock just did not do it to me for me. What about Stacey Abrams?
Yes, I love Stacey Abrams.
Uh-huh.
Um, I don't know much about her workings in Georgia,
Uh-huh.
unfortunately, but when I hear her speak, and I've seen her on a few shows where she's talked about her experiences personally, being a black woman, having all natural hair, dark skin, heavier set.
Yeah.
Um, I've heard her story as for not her political story, but
Mm-hmm.
I've heard her personal story, and I'm a fan of
Okay.
hers.
Okay.
Um, as far as Warnock is concerned,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know his personal story nor his political story.
Okay.
I was introduced to him, however, that first time of him running
Mm-hmm.
and wanting him to win the seat and turn the state blue.
Right.
I was interested in that, and I didn't really go further than that, um, as far as him. And just as far as the him being a preacher and being pro-abortion, I
Mm-hmm.
I don't necessarily know his stance on abortion.
Mm-hmm.
I know that the term abortion
Mm-hmm.
is broadly considered to be connected with a woman getting herself out of trouble.
Right. Right.
And unfortunately, that's just a part of abortion.
It is.
There's so many other things. So I don't know his stance on abortion as far as it goes with, fetuses and viable pregnancies.
Mm-hmm.
But I know his stance on protecting the life of the mother.
Right.
And I know his stance on incest
Yeah.
and things like that. So, I don't want to umbrella my I'm not a fan of using abortion as birth control. I feel like
Right.
when people hear abortion, that's what they connected with.
They do.
They connected with birth. Women, like I said, women that have kind of gotten themselves in a situation, they don't want to go that route. And
Right.
I can understand that point of view for sure. But I also have a strong point of view and a feeling about the life of the mother being taken
Mm.
into consideration. And I
Yes.
also have a strong point of view about incest and rape and a
Absolutely.
pregnancy as a result of that. Um,
Absolutely.
I know a lot of people may look at all conceptions of life
Mm-hmm.
as miracles.
Right.
Um, and I'm not going to take that away from anybody. That's
Mm-hmm.
your way of looking at life, and
Right.
that's your right to do so.
Right.
Um,
Absolutely.
but I also say I'm just not going to go as far with it as saying this woman has to put her life in jeopardy to bring this baby, or this tragic situation of rape is now going to be compounded with a birth. you know I think that's a line too far for me personally, and so
Right.
that's where I stand on it.
I agree. I agree with that. Um, I totally agree with. I believe in everything that you're saying when it comes to abortion. I just don't believe that abortion should be used as a contraceptive.
Right.
And so, for all the politicians out there that are advocating for that, I don't agree. And I think that that's what most people are saying, but it's being turned around as if, well, you don't agree with abortions, period. And that's not true,
Right.
and so they're changing and trying to turn people's voices. But
they're they're twisting.
yes,
They like to twist everything,
oh God, yeah,
and they like to center it when
yeah,
all these things are going on in the background. you
yeah,
know you're focusing on abortion, you're focusing on the life of the fetus, you're focusing on late term abortions, you're focusing on these abortions that they're saying Democrats are okay with after birth, which are not
right,
abortions.
right.
So and they're coming up with these statements and saying things that are medically impossible
Mm-hmm.
to give you to focus on that part of it. A girl who has gotten herself in trouble and
Right.
wants to use this as a way to fix that situation. But when you peel off the first layer of the onion
Right.
and you get to understand that abortion is a term used to um, end and safely protect the mother from pregnancies that are not viable. This baby
Mm-hmm.
is not going to live, or this baby is already dead inside. The the procedure is abortion. It's called abortion, and so with it being labeled that way, um, medical professionals are in a position to not want to perform those procedures, and so
Mm-hmm.
life of the mother is not being taken into consideration. And that's just where I have a problem with that. And then as any further than that, make your own choice, do you. I don't care either way what the next person does with their body. Honestly,
Mm-hmm.
I can't
Mm-hmm.
say that I do. However, when it comes to not letting me say, hey, I want to live, I have a problem with that.
Wow. I agree. I totally agree. And I'm with you. Um so I moving into a lighter
Okay.
note, because honey, abortion, we can be on that all night, and
And it's
that's
heavy. It's
real.
heavy, you know.
It is very heavy. It's very heavy, because I know many of women who've had it,
Right.
and that have done it, and honestly done it in a contraceptive manner. Am I judging them? No. What do you tell a 16-year-old girl who is doing something that she doesn't know, um that this can be the consequence of? I mean, we kind of have an idea,
Right.
but you know what? You don't know what you're doing. You don't know. You're listening to some guy, and
Mhm.
I mean, what I'm talking back in the day,
Right.
with us.
Right.
Now, honey, these girls just giving it up every
And, and they know
3 or 4
a lot
minutes.
more than you give them credit for.
Ooh, Lord
They
have
know a
mercy.
lot more than you give them credit for.
Lord have mercy. I ain't gonna tell you about one of the ladies I saw in paternity court the other day. I was in shock. After testing 6 men, she
Oh,
still didn't know who her baby daddy was. And let me just say this too: women will have to be held accountable for their behavior.
yeah,
One day,
absolutely.
they're going to have to be held accountable for their behavior, because there's no way that you should take a child through that. You that promiscuous to where you done tested 6 men, and all of them, even a dead man. They
Stop.
brought the family to test, and
Mhm.
none of them was the daddy. 6 men.
Mm,
Like, what was you doing?
right.
I mean, you couldn't
Well,
have
we
been
know what.
working.
Well, we know what you was doing. What wasn't
Right.
you doing is the
Right.
question.
Hello, hello.
And who weren't you doing is the question.
Right. Right. I also have some issues with Stephen Horsford.
Hmm.
I have some huge issues with Stephen Horsford. His character, in my opinion, has been compromised.
Hmm.
Um I just I don't know what his wife knew, so I'm trying not to say what is what, but
Hmm.
to portray yourself as some Christian family man, and
Hmm.
you've been in a relationship with this young girl for 10 plus years.
Hmm.
Mm, mm,
Real ugly.
mm,
Real ugly.
mm,
Yeah, and you used to be when something like that came out,
mm,
they were conscious enough and more aware of the community and the
mhm,
community's needs that they
mhm.
would step aside
Yeah.
and let another qualified person take take the reins.
And you know what? And from what I'm understanding, I read she made it public.
Mhm.
His wife
Mhm.
made it public that she asked him not to run. Just sit this term out. You know what I'm saying? Give it a break. You know what? Let the family heal.
Mhm.
Let the family heal. Give me and my children
A
some
chance.
space after I've been notified of your affair on
Mhm.
Mother's Day.
Uh, okay. Mm.
you know,
Mm.
right on Mother's Day. And basically, what she said was that, honey, the next day she knew he had done already applied for the election and went forward and then didn't even tell her.
Mm.
And so to me, you have some character issues, you have some flaws. What is it about your career to where you can't put your family first?
Right.
What is it about you? Why is it that women are made to put their careers on hold for their children, which I am glad to do, which I wish I could have done it, but I had to work and take
Right.
care of my kiddo. Um but why is it that you couldn't give her that privacy? You
Mm.
didn't think enough
You know
about
what?
her. You didn't think enough about your children
Well,
to do that?
I'm going to give you my what I think. I don't know
Mhm.
this man.
Well,
But
before you go,
okay.
even the mistress
Uh-huh.
recommended that he drop out the race.
Okay. So he doesn't deal with idiots.
No, he doesn't. The
Okay.
girl's got a law degree.
All right. Well, I
Mhm.
mean, he seems like a guy who needs something in his life. He needs, you
Yes.
know. But what I
Mhm.
will say is, when I see that type of thing, Michael Jordan, uh,
Yeah.
one of them, that where it's a huge deal, you know.
Mhm.
Um, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing, and so I have two stances. Young, love grows old, and
Yes, it
so
does.
I believe that sometimes, those situations have run their course, no matter how,
Mhm.
much we maybe want to think that something could have prevented this. It doesn't look like there was anything that was going to prevent him from having a 10-year relationship and then ignoring her request for privacy and some time and some
Mhm.
space. A lot of times I think that families, uh, nice things, and things like that, even wives, I think men start to think that those things were accomplished because of the job.
Mm.
And so when they think about not doing that job anymore, they think about how much they accomplished with that job,
Mhm.
and they start I don't want to know what to call the thought process, but it's a thought process where they start to think, well, no, the job is what got me everything, so I can't get rid of the job,
Right.
you know.
Right.
So I think that, I really do. I think
Yeah.
that, people like Tom Brady, I believe he felt like being a star football player got him his wife. So she
Okay.
probably adored him. And,
Right.
in some aspect, because he was a football player, she was attracted to him.
Mm.
But I'm not gonna go as far as saying that's why she married him, you know?
Right.
And so I think they get confused with what the job has done for them versus what they've done for the job and what they've done for themselves while working. You know,
Ah.
I think that maybe in his situation, he feels like being an accomplished politician has allowed him to have a wife, a woman on the side, the things that he wants in life. And so losing one of those things, but keeping the one he feels brought everything to the table.
Mm. That's
I see
deep.
that.
That's deep there.
I see that.
That's real deep. I never put it in perspective that way. That's deep. and it's deep in its understanding, you know. Yeah, to basically choose that over your family.
Yeah.
You
It's
know, I
happening.
mean,
Though.
that's
I mean,
your love.
it's happening. And then you're saying, why are we asked to or made to put our careers, hopes, dreams, on hold for the family? You
Hmm.
know, um, there's several reasons that has always happened,
Yeah,
right? Sometimes the man and his income just provide more, and
right.
you make that
Well,
sacrifice.
in this aspect, I don't know if I agree with that because
Right.
his
That's
wife
just
his wife does have a PhD and she teaches at a couple of universities.
well, that's just
Right.
one aspect.
Right.
But I also believe that we don't mind taking
Hmm.
that back seat.
We don't. We
We really
actually don't.
we when we choose to do that at some point we grow tired of it,
Yeah.
just like anything else. Without any promotion at work, you grow tired of your
Hmm.
job, without any accolades, without any more pay, you don't want to do it anymore.
Right.
And
Right.
so that happens to us as
Yes,
well.
it
And
does.
so, even though we love our kids, we love making sure everybody's okay and everything that comes along with taking care of the home, we also are burning up inside
Yeah.
to do something more with our lives as we watch our kids blossom into wonderful people, as
Right.
we watch our significant others make strides in the workforce. And we want some of that. We
Right.
don't want to be the shadow, or the backbone and the wind beneath their wings.
Right.
We want
Right.
our own accolades and stuff, and not just ones from being a great mom, though that is one of the best things that you can be in this world. It's not one of the only things that
Right.
you can be. And when it's our turn, especially if you've been promised something, once I make
Mm.
it big, then you can get back to doing what you want to do.
Right.
Sometimes you don't agree on when that is.
Uh,
Sometimes,
right.
sometimes we just don't want to wait anymore. We
Right.
see another way to do it, you know. Um, and sometimes there's a demand for
Ooh.
us, and that makes men uncomfortable.
Mm.
And I'm going to use just a Tom Brady and Giselle.
Okay.
He's very successful football player. Don't know how many more years he's got left. And she's a beautiful supermodel,
Yeah.
and she has gotten right back into working.
Yeah.
There was a demand for her.
Yeah.
And so there wasn't like she had to figure it out. Where's this going to come from? You know, so
Right.
that's intimidating to men,
Mm.
being your wife, your backbone, your family, keep it together, being in demand for something else that she loves, that she likes, that pays her great, that brings
Right.
her joy. So it's a competition sometimes, they feel like.
Mm. Okay. Okay. Well, all I know is I don't want to be in competition with my husband.
Not
You
at
know,
all.
I don't. I don't. I just, hey, bro, just take me for who I am. I'm gonna make money regardless. Just understand that that's just who I am. If you make enough money and you ask me to stay at home, I ain't got no problem with that. I paid my dues too.
Right.
So I mean, it just depends on the person, I guess.
Absolutely.
It depends on the person. But I just again, I just have not been into the candidates.
Mm,
There's nothing about any of them that
that's
I'm just enthusiastic about to just go run to the polls
right.
to I'm just not. So
Agreed.
I mean, so I just I sat this one out.
Are
And,
you
and
interested in any other states' results? Like, are you paying attention?
well, we already know Ron DeSantis is one
Okay.
in Florida. Ron
Well,
DeSantis has won.
mm,
All those are their polls are already closed.
right.
Yeah, so I did see the breaking news on that
Mm.
he beat out Charlie Chris. They should have known that.
I think they did know.
Yeah, they know that. One thing about it, this is one thing about it, and this is what I like. Um, when the Republicans want you in office, you'll be in office.
Yeah, they're
They
going to
will put
do.
their money.
Are going to back you.
They gonna back the hell out of you. Do you
Yes.
understand?
Mm-hmm.
And they did, but I can say for the Democrats, what's his name? Clyburn. Oh God. Oh God. Are you are you familiar with Jim Clyburn?
I am.
Okay. He had someone to run against him,
Mm-hmm.
Marcel. I think it's Marcel Dixon. And Marcel was gaining a lot of attraction. Gaining a lot of attraction. I mean, he was on Jim's head.
Mm-hmm.
Old Clyburn's head, honey. He was on it. Honey. They sent Kamala Harris down there to talk to them poor folks. And all she did was go down there and talk about making greens.
Huh.
And that's exactly what she did. Jim Clyburn has the poorest district there.
Mm-hmm.
He has the poorest district in South Carolina to be the majority whip. And let's keep in mind too, Jim Clyburn is the person who wrote the Asian hate bill.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can write an Asian hate bill, you can write one for black people.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want to hear it. I'm done. I'm done. And when the people in this South Carolina sixth district wake up and stop eating French fries from Jim Clyburn, wake up and realize that this man is not there for you. They're getting ready to move those people out of there. And girl, South Carolina with his district is getting ready to look totally different.
Mm.
Totally different. The same thing of what they've done before, What they couldn't do it in Vegas because the west side of Las Vegas was just too powerful.
Okay.
But their Clyburn is a part of what they're trying to do in his district, which is what they wanted to do with the west side. But that was a no-no. That was a no-no. And thank God that our churches are holding
Hello.
the properties. The problem is though, is that majority of us has moved out.
Yeah.
And as a West Side alum, I do feel bad about that.
Well, I'm also a West Sider,
Yes, you are.
but I don't feel bad, and
Okay.
I will tell you why.
Okay.
Okay. That's what they were. How do I? Okay. It there's nothing there.
Right.
There's absolutely no life, no luster, no anything there. They don't put any money into it. And if they do, they don't spend it correctly.
Right.
It doesn't show in the community. And it's different,
Yeah.
And so when you have an opportunity to get out of there, you don't stick around.
You don't.
You get out of there. And so I feel like same thing with Winslow Park, the neighborhood Winslow Park.
Yes.
It's destroyed.
It is.
And the people took their opportunity while they had it to get out of there, because look at it. If they had not done that, that's where they'd be.
Yeah.
In poverty looking, you go outside and you just can't even be happy about where you are,
Yeah.
And so I don't, I feel bad that they didn't do anything with the West Side because it was majority Black people.
Right.
I feel bad about that. What a waste and what a
They didn't
disappointment.
offer to build new homes.
Nothing.
You know, we
But
got some new houses over there that's close to Owens. What is that? Owens and H.
yeah, yeah, I saw those
You know,
sporadic.
though, they had, but I mean, look at those houses
I
now.
saw those sporadically built houses.
Yeah,
I've seen some closer into the community from
yeah,
Owens, more
hmm,
inside there going
yeah,
towards the next street.
yeah,
And they built some houses, two or three, four on one street, two or three, here or there.
yeah,
Um, but once again, you live in the house. I'm sure it's some kind of program, HUD or something that
hmm,
helped them to get those houses, cheap
yeah,
property. And so, but once again, once those people stay there and have an opportunity to leave, and you look around, there's no
hmm.
stores,
No,
there's no part. It's not somewhere that you want to live.
right.
You know what I'm saying? When you really want to live, you want to have a barbecue, you want to walk around your neighborhood with your dog, you want to take a jog to the store. All of those things you just can't do. So
Right.
even building a house there, you get the benefit that it was reasonably priced and whatnot. But once you have that first chance to get out of there, you're gone.
You gone.
You are gone.
Because and I get that, because it's like, why am I gonna spend these thousands of dollars in my home and the guy next to me looking like he don't give a damn? It's
Right.
about 8 cars on his driveway. You know what I mean? So, and that irritates people too.
Yeah.
I'm putting all the money into my home, but this guy next door doesn't value his home like that.
Right.
Matter of fact, it isn't even his home.
Or hello. I
You
mean, there's
know,
so many different things, but just the look and the feel of riding through the West Side.
right?
I can remember, and this is, when I was younger, it was exciting.
Yeah.
It was okay to ride,
Mhm.
go through. Now it's just sad. It is. It's just sad. Go through there now. It's like, ugh.
Right. It's definitely not what we grew up to, for sure. So it definitely is. But we've talked a little bit about the election. Now let's move on, honey. This is your topic, and I know you are ready
Let's
for
do it.
Kanye West. What is up with Yay? Give us something.
Okay, so A, I saw where he was walked out of Skechers,
Hmm.
walked out of what was it, Ross or TJ Maxx? Who was he? I can't remember. One of those discount, kind of discount chains where he wants to sell his merchandise.
Right.
So he's walked out of there. They don't want it, you know. And I go, okay, whatever. But what really was interesting to me was the White Lives Matter t-shirts.
Yeah.
Okay. And the two black radio personalities that trademarked the White Lives Matter so that he could not sell the t-shirts.
What? Well, why
Yeah.
would he want to sell them?
Well, to make money.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, to make some money.
Is that what he's doing?
I don't, well, he's not, because they've trademarked White Lives Matter
Oh God.
and are waiting for him to sell one shirt
So
so
they can
that,
get some money.
so that
It's
yeah,
with black people. It's always about money.
no dollars.
If it wasn't Kanye, they wouldn't give a damn.
They
But
well,
it's about money.
they got him by the short and curlies on the White Lives Matter shirts. They're not
Right.
they're not gonna budge on it. So I found that interesting. That I don't know if that was a move, to say we're gonna dead this issue. You're not gonna get those white shirts matter, White Lives Matter shirts going, or if it was strictly a money play.
Hmm.
They can fall on either side. We would never know. Um,
Right.
so I thought that was interesting. That, and just seeing that he's got a real, I saw his latest video where he was saying that he was misdiagnosed about his mental illness, and that's why he doesn't take medication because
Mhm.
of this. And he was like, I can't say what the doctor was or what the hospital was. And then 2 seconds later, he goes, it was a Jewish doctor. Ah, and it
I'm
was
sick of his arse.
funny, and so, yeah. I like I said, I believe he does not like himself,
Yeah,
and that's his own thing, and he'll have to work that out. So,
yeah. Okay. Well, my take on Kanye West, m- my thing is this: when black people say something about another group of people, why do you attack my money?
hello.
But when white people say something about black people, they're afforded the option to sell their stock,
Mm,
sell their shares, or sell this, or we'll buy you out. You don't lose any money off the top.
okay.
You're able to get your money, get your severance, and gone.
Hmm.
Now Kanye West was out of order. Now you was out of order talking about you going DEF CON on Jewish people. Because let me tell you something. If somebody woke up today talking about they were going DEF CON on black folks, you know what time it is. Okay? And I'm just being honest with that, right?
Yeah.
So he was wrong. He was wrong for that. And the problem too with Kanye West is Kanye West thought that he had enough black backing to say the foolishness that he's been saying. But at the end of the day, Kanye West didn't realize who's buying his stuff.
Hmm.
They're not black people.
Okay.
You got black rich people buying them ugly shoes.
Yeah, but this is
I
where
hate them
people, this
shoes,
is
but
where
but
people
but
get
I'm
black
not
rich
hating on
people,
him.
black rich people buying his shoes. I'm not going to even go there
Yeah,
because I believe that he gives more product away
he might
to rich black people
probably.
than he would ever sell.
But I'm
I
gonna tell you, do you see these kids? Walker, I see children in these schools that are walking around with Yeezys on.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. You he of exactly. That's to my point.
Mm-hmm.
It he's
He's giving away most of the stuff
he
to
the
the friends and
if,
family,
if he gives
and
it away
we're the ones that's buying it. That's what you're saying.
if he gives it away to the most popular people around,
Mm-hmm.
then you don't need to focus any kind of a real direct market.
Gotcha.
Put your stuff on who everybody's watching. Same thing Beyonce did with her clothing line. When she was sending out those surprise bags and boxes and
Yes.
clothing to all
Mm-hmm.
these stars, and they were posting videos that they had got their box, and they had got their what what was that? I forget the artist, but she was sending them bodysuits and just stuff from the line.
Right.
So yeah, you put enough people in those, and you don't have to have a game plan and a figure out how do I get these younger women in this outfit.
Right. Right. Right.
I
Right.
I put the outfit on Khloe Kardashian.
Right.
I put it on this person and that person, and all of their fans can see them in it. And
Right.
so I think that's a marketing play for Kanye West, because I don't see anybody buying it's ugly, it's bizarre looking, and
Look like space shoes.
it's overpriced. It just looks like, and then the colors are bland. There's no creativity in it at all. It's just bizarre.
Right. Just weird. But um
Kyrie.
I don't agree with what they're doing at this point.
Hmm.
You know, this man has said he's lost $2 billion in hours. You know, my thing is this. Why is it with us they want to take the bag? Now, with Kyrie Irving, I am absolutely upset.
Right.
I am absolutely upset with the Nets. I'm absolutely upset with the NBA. I might not even watch any game this season
There's
because this
that
is
may not even play ever again.
yeah. But he did. But the problem is that they want Kyrie Irving to apologize for posting a video that they say is anti-Semitic, which was the video that he posted. Well, matter of fact, it wasn't even a video. He he tweeted the link to a movie, and the name of that movie. Let me get the name of the
Hebrews
movie.
to Negroes.
Hebrews to Negroes. Wake up, Black America.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and they're saying which is a book based on of the same name that is stuffed with anti-Semitic tropes, which is bullcrap. So the question that we're asking is, well, why aren't you going after Jeff Bezos? Because he's the one that's selling it on Amazon and making money if it's so anti-Semitic.
Speak
So
on it.
that's been the question. But let me tell you, this is the problem that I have with what they have done to Kyrie Irving. Um, and I'm going to go through this because I want you to see how they are attempting to publicly dehumanize this man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, at first they wanted him to denounce anti-Semitism. So he's saying, "What am I denouncing it for?" I told you the movie itself is. If you have a problem with the movie, he's already said, "I am, and I'm not that. I don't agree with that. I don't believe in that. What else do you need? What do you want from me?"
Right.
I've already said this. So at first he didn't publicly apologize. What am I apologizing for? And then the Nets told him to apologize, donate $500,000 to fighting anti-Semitism, meet with Jewish leaders,
Yeah.
undergo sensitivity training, and then meet with the owner, Joe Tsai, to prove he understands what he did wrong. Oh, and also meet with the commissioner of the NBA. What was that owner's name that was with a girlfriend called him making racist comments about black people?
Right.
Remember that?
Yeah, I do.
Didn't they allow that bastard to go and take it? They bought him out.
Yeah. Yeah, they did.
They didn't take any money from him. He was allowed to get his money and leave.
Is he?
So my problem is this.
Mm-hmm.
For someone who has said, I do not agree with this type of behavior against Jewish people,
Mm-hmm.
the link that he tweeted was absolutely true. Africans were the first Hebrews. He did not lie. Why does he have to apologize to Jewish people? And this is my problem too. I'm sick of Jewish people feeling that nobody can come for your group of people.
No, listen. Let me just add on. There was a Jewish grandmother, okay, who I had a back and forth with.
I know you did.
Because she had made a comment. Because there were some people on the freeway, I believe this is in LA, that were honking. They had a sign that said Kanye was right about the Jews. And they were like, and people were honking. It had honk if you agree. And so people were honking the horn. Loads of people, right? And so the comments were being made like, oh, it's disturbing how many people were honking their horn. It's crazy that this is happening. all
Mm-hmm.
the normal stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And she makes this comment that says, I never thought I'm a Jewish grandmother, and I never thought I would have to worry about my grandkids' safety in America.
Girl, bye.
Oh, yes, that was one of what I said.
Girl, bye.
I said, let me, I might even be able to pull it up. Just give me 1 second. And maybe I've been doing a lot of talking, so I might not be able to find it. But
You want me to find it?
I basically told her
Uh-huh.
it's funny how you, as a Jewish grandmother, have not worried about your grandkids' safety when every other race
Thank
in
you.
America has told you to do so. They have told you to be afraid. They have shown you how they are being treated. Black
Right.
people in particularly
Right.
have been sounding the alarm since we got here. Okay.
Thank you.
And so it's what I said was, it sure sucks when it's your turn
Ooh.
when it's your turn to worry about your kids and your grandkids, and you never thought you'd have to worry. Really? I'm 43 years old, and
Mm.
I have been worried since I got here.
Come on now. Since the
Somebody
day we were born.
worried for me since I got here. I'm
Thank you.
worried for my kids since they got here.
Thank
But
you.
you've managed to come to a place in this America
Hmm.
that you clearly didn't worry about your children, and you weren't worried about your grandchildren until Kanye West, right? Kanye West spoke up, no matter how nasty it was that he said. We've heard Donald Trump say some of the most disgusting things
Right.
about people and
Mm-hmm.
races and groups of everything.
And
But
he ain't been made to do nothing. And you
now,
know what he'll tell them to do?
now that Kanye West has said something, and people are in agreement with him,
Mm-hmm.
you have found yourself worried about your
Mm.
grandchildren's safety in America.
Girl, bye.
Wow. Well, weren't you lucky to have all those years worry free?
Right.
Glad to have you finally join the club.
Mm, 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 mm.
And I don't don't wish harm on anyone,
Yeah.
but once it takes it takes us understanding that we are alone as a race.
Mm-hmm.
Not have allies,
We don't.
because we would already have what they have on
Yes.
the books.
Yeah, you're right.
They have a I'm talking about, it didn't take but a few murders, and they have a whole law on Asian hate and
Huh.
crime,
It
and
wasn't even a few, it was one.
how you're going to be punished for it. Okay. And so,
Mm-hmm.
and we're still not there. Why is that?
Right.
Why is that?
Right.
Where were your fists in the air all this time that we've been slaughtered? We've
Yes.
been wrongly accused,
Mm-hmm.
been denied access to everything on every level,
That's right.
been restricted, and our rights have been imaginary.
That's right.
So, where were your fists when we were saying no more? When we were saying, look at what's happening? Where were your fists? Now, something happens to you guys, and the first thing you do is you grab onto the momentum of the Black community,
Oh, girl, don't they all the time?
our message, and our vibrant behavior, and what we feel from the years of suffering, and you latch on to that, and you get a whole law created,
Right. Girl, don't they always talk about civil rights?
working
It's
fast.
crazy to me how they all just start talking about civil rights all of a sudden
Right.
and get anything they want.
Yeah. So I feel bad. $500,000 donation is insane.
Ridiculous.
Insane to even impose on someone's income in that manner.
Right.
Um, and maybe meeting with the people. I cannot say here or there if that's kosher for their industry. If
Right.
meeting with people is something that happens in the NBA when you break certain rules and in this.
No,
No,
because we know several people who have made comments about black people and they ain't been made to go to no cultural competence training. They
right.
ain't been made to do none of that. So no, you're attacking um Kyrie Irving because he said what he said.
Hello.
That's what you're doing. You're attacking this man because he said what he said. And what did he say that was anti-Semitic? He didn't say anything. I mean, just dumb, and it's almost, but then somebody had the audacity. One of them made it said, yeah, we just had to put him in his place. Excuse me? That is some of the most racist mess I've ever heard when you talking about putting a black man, a grown black man in his place. What does that mean?
Right. Well,
Putting somebody in a place.
it means that they are not having it. That's what that means. That's what that means. It means straight out, straight up, they're not having it. They're not having that type of nonsense. This is them, you know. So why do we have it?
Right.
Why do we tolerate it?
Right.
Why do we put up with it? Why don't we have enough closeness as a community to actually boycott? Actually boycott. I believe when Michael Jordan said that he didn't get involved in politics, that set the trend for athletes to be able to look the other way.
Yeah.
Save their career and their dollars.
Yeah.
And not get involved and keep their head down. And then we came to a reckoning, a different time, where an athlete actually gave his career up for something he believed in.
Sure did. Muhammad Ali.
So now we turned this corner and athletes are saying more. People are saying, shut up and just play ball.
Shut up and dribble.
Stick the ball.
And by the way, a white woman said it.
Shut up and just keep boxing.
Shut up and dribble on air.
What do you know about it? And this and that and the third. Okay. They have an opportunity and a platform to actually speak their mind and have influence.
Right.
So where are they on this Kyrie Irving situation?
Right.
Where are their united black voices?
You mean to tell me that a person can't speak their mind just because I work for your company? I can't be a human being?
Right.
Is that what you're saying?
If that's what they're saying, right? If that's what they're saying, which pretty much that's what they're saying. Yeah. Where are our united black athletic voices? Where are the coaches? Where are the athletes? Where are the executives that are saying, hold on, hold on, hold on?
Right.
We're going to do something different this time. Or where are the athletes or in that realm, in the athletic realm, saying, hold on, what about when so-and-so said this?
Right.
Are there voices?
Right.
Because that's what he needs. We don't represent enough dollars to the NBA.
Right.
Even though we have players there, right? That's who it's going to take to collectively say, hold on, hold on.
That's what I think that's what I'm so mad about. Majority of these teams are black men.
So where
you tell me that y'all wouldn't walk? All y'all had to do was stage a walkout one day, and the NBA will be crumbled. Tell them that you're not going to play for a season until y'all start making some changes in the NBA.
Get legally creative the way
Right.
people do.
Thank you.
Want to pay you, they come up with all kinds of rules and shit and a way to interpret your contract that you never
Mm-hmm.
even thought of.
Yep.
So get somebody, get on it. Hey, a morals clause would be one, or an ethics clause of
Mm-hmm.
being made to feel like a second class citizen
Right.
for this organization. You know, a class action against that organization while you play and take their money. You
That's
know,
right.
there. But where are the voices? Where
You
are
know what? Getting a paycheck and scared to say something.
well, and that's and until we have a few more heavy hitting voices,
Right. Because
stand
the ones we have now are just horrific. The ones that are on TV are horrific. You know, I mean, these old, girl, I'm just so disappointed in what they show on TV. Do I expect the Jalen Rose to say anything? No. Do I expect that Shannon Sharp? Shannon Sharp kind of, went in and kind of redeemed himself a little bit, but I mean, this is just, why is it that black men are afraid to say the truth while they're on TV? You know what? I would rather not work and have to build myself than to sit up and be humiliated by somebody
right.
every single day.
Hello.
I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. The money ain't even worth it when you sit up and do that.
I
And
I
half of them ain't doing nothing. They're not spending it in the community anyway. They ain't doing nothing but giving it back to the ones who writing their checks anyway.
well, I just wonder, where are those voices when there is a fellow athlete? I mean, there's so many connections
Mm-hmm.
to him within their own community.
Right.
Even if you agree that he made a mistake,
Mm-hmm.
you can disagree with the treatment that he's
Right.
getting,
Yeah.
And so, I mean, there's just so many connections. He's a fellow athlete. He's black. He's a man.
Yes.
I mean, do you not feel anything? Is it? And so, and guess what? It will be your turn.
That's
It,
yes, 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 yes.
and that's what happens when as you age and you get older, you get more comfortable with
Mm-hmm.
your own ideas and how you behave and how you treat people and what you put out there.
Mm-hmm.
Or retweeted or whatever he did with that link
Which
because
is
he wanted to
which was nothing.
but he wanted to express something. Either
Yeah.
I want people to see this, or hey, check this out, it's interesting.
Well, that's what it was. He had watched it.
Okay, so whatever it was, he put that out there because he was comfortable. He's a man.
Yeah.
He's a man. He watched something. It made an impression on him.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, check this out. See how you feel.
Right.
Right. And just like Dave Chappelle, just like
Yes.
a lot of other black celebrities, as you get more comfortable,
Mm-hmm.
as you age, you get more comfortable, you get more solid in what you think and how you feel,
Mm-hmm.
you make those moves. You start expressing yourself. So maybe with the NBA being a youthful organization, maybe they are not mature enough yet to speak up or to relate to an older guy who saw a video or a movie and thought that it would be good or interesting or enlightening or educating for people to see. He doesn't agree with the stance of everything, but
Mm-hmm.
interesting thing to watch.
Right.
So yeah, I would be disappointed with my fellow teammates and people in the organization that just are silent.
Yeah, yeah. It's just crazy to me how this guy is just being targeted. He's being, but my problem is the people who feel like this mess is okay. So you're gonna take this man money, you're gonna do all of this because he wouldn't apologize. Like, are you freaking serious? This ain't no, we're not on any plantations. So are
Right.
you telling me that, well, now we do know the NBA is still the plantation, but you know what? It will not get any support from me. The
Well,
last jersey that I bought was a Allen Iverson jersey, and it'll be the last one.
girl, you so crazy.
Because he is the answer.
Well,
And so I'm done.
let me ask you this.
Mm-mm.
Let me just ask you this.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, it's in the same realm of conversation,
Yes.
but it's me playing a little bit of devil's advocate.
Okay, come on.
Okay. We have a similar situation with Roseanne Barr.
Oh God.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
She has a hit show.
Mm-hmm.
It's named after her.
Yeah.
It's rebooted and is just as popular as it was years ago.
Mm-hmm.
She makes racial comments about a woman. I think she said she looked like a monkey or
Mm-hmm.
made some racial comments.
Yeah, she did.
And though she apologized,
Mm-hmm.
she was fired.
Yes, she was.
She was removed from her name was removed from the show.
Uh-huh. As
And
she should have been.
so where do you
There is no devil's advocate in these two
okay,
because Kyrie Irving was not promoting anything anti-Semitic.
there you go.
And that's the difference.
Hello.
So you mean to tell me
The
that
devil the details, ain't it?
exactly. So, had he said, you know what, Jewish folks or blah 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 blah, then that's a different
And that's
thing.
something similar to Kanye. Now, what
Exactly.
I will
And
say
even something
is,
similar to Roseanne Barr.
well,
But that's not what he did not say anything.
right.
All he did was tweeted a video, a movie that he watched,
Let me tell you,
and said,
had he done that 3, 4 months ago,
I know.
be no problem.
I know. It's a
But
backlash to
because,
this Kanye West mess.
but because everything is heightened,
Mm-hmm.
everybody's super sensitive, which is
Yeah.
why he watched that video,
Right.
right?
I agree.
That's why, because it's all being talked about.
Yeah.
It's all being brought to the forefront. It's all being hitting you if you can relate at all, right?
Right.
You have an opinion on it. And so then here comes this video, and so you watch it just like you watch anything else, any kind of documentary that comes on. But guess what? They have no problem. Now hear me, okay? They have no problem when we are ripping when the documentary, it truthful or not, is ripping us apart. Put it out
Mm-hmm.
there.
Right.
Put it out there, right? They don't
Right.
have a problem. What is wrong with Hebrews to Negroes?
Nothing.
What
And from what I understand, it's a good movie that's been selling out the chain.
right? But what is the problem, right? We're getting a lot of he tweeted this, right? But we're not
Mhm.
getting a lot of what is wrong with the movie.
Right.
What is actually, has anybody watched it?
Right.
Well, yeah, because it's selling. It's like selling like crazy. So people
Mm-hmm.
are watching it. So is it a stab at Jews? Like,
Oh,
is it a
no.
stab at Jews?
No, you know what it is what they're trying to say, trying to deny the fact is that black people are Jewish.
Mm.
That, and that's what they don't want to say, which is a form of anti-black.
Hell, oh, that's not even a thing.
It is.
That's not even a thing. Well, it's a thing to people that are black,
Mm-hmm.
but that's not a real thing.
Yeah.
Anyone else,
Yeah.
but we can notice that.
Yeah.
Yeah, can notice that, and I'm just gonna go ahead and put it out there,
Yeah.
right? We
Hmm.
can notice that
Yeah.
when where we need to understand. We had a comedian. We have Dave Chappelle.
Yes, right.
He put his opinion and his art out there about
Hmm.
how he thought about the L. I hate to be disrespectful, so I'm not gonna. I don't know the initials correctly, but
Because they just add on every other day.
gay,
It's something else being added.
LGBTQ, I believe. I'm okay,
IA.
right? Okay, so he's saying what he had to say, and they're upset, right?
Yeah.
But what about all the other jokes?
Right.
Well, just tell me, what about all the other jokes
Right.
in there?
Well, the reason why that backfired is because they thought black people was gonna cancel Dave Chappelle,
Never
and
gonna
we told them absolutely not. We
happen.
riding with Dave Chappelle on this one because what he said was absolutely true, and it is true. You want to talk about being bullied, but at the end of the day, you become the bully.
Yeah,
And he said it right. And that's what Jewish people are doing too. You know what I'm saying? You want to be the victim, but guess what? You've become the bully because can't nobody say nothing about y'all. And at the end of the day, no, the man didn't even say anything about you. All he did was posted a video to a movie to say that black people are the original Hebrew. So what's wrong with that? Is that history that we're trying to cover up and rewrite?
well, my thing is you can say that Jesus is white with
Right.
with blonde hair and blue eyes, then why
Mm-hmm.
can't I have a difference of opinion?
Right. Because
That's all that.
what I mean, the problem is if this is my problem. And this is why I don't go to black people's homes and they have a white Jesus on the wall. I walk completely out. That means you don't even read your own Bible. The Bible said that Jesus's skin tone was bronze. That's my skin color. So when I come to your home, I expect to see a Jesus that's bronze, that has hair made of wool. I have hair made of wool.
Not an ultra perm.
Come on.
Hmm. Them wavy,
So come on.
them wavy locks.
Come
Oh,
on now. So
yeah,
we either gonna get real or we not.
they
We're gonna stop playing this game.
don't.
And people, want to say, oh, well, it's just a display. But you know what? Vision matters, and it matters to our children what they see.
Well, this is the thing too. If you're mad about what Kanye West said as
Mm-hmm.
a Jewish person or a Jewish representative, or a person that's feeling some type of way,
Mm-hmm.
he's also said something days before that,
Yes, he did.
right? He's also been attacking black people.
Yes, he has.
So where were you? Where were your Jewish fists
Right.
when he was saying white lives matter?
Oh,
George Floyd didn't die from a knee to the neck, and I feel like Emmett Till.
right.
Slavery was a choice.
Right.
Where were your fists?
Right.
Where was your outrage? Where was your dropping him for from?
Saying that about black people.
Where was your dropping him from Adidas?
Right.
Where was your dropping him from anything? Where was your
Right.
taking of his money? Right? The only thing that happened was that two black men trademarked White Lives Matter so that he couldn't start to sell that stuff,
Mm-hmm.
have them wearing those shirts and having us have to knock heads off shoulders. And I'm gonna thank them brothers for that. Okay,
Right.
thank you for that. Because
Right.
it can be looked at as an attack on his money.
Come on.
I'm also going to look at it as a blessing for my emotions.
Right.
Because wearing the shirt, the person wearing it is also going to feel brazen enough to feel like that
Come
is
on.
listen, and I don't want you to get the wrong idea.
No, come on.
taking that shirt out of his hands, that whole phrase out of his hands, as he attacks Black Lives Matter.
Come on.
I believe that was the right thing to do.
It was.
I do believe that was the right thing to do.
I
That
agree.
hold on, but that was us,
That's right.
control of us,
That's right.
making sure we were okay.
That's right.
Where were y'all?
Right.
Where were
In the
y'all?
fight.
I
In
didn't
the
hear
fight.
anybody say drop him from Adidas.
Right.
He look at him.
Because Black people buy Adidas.
We were talking about it amongst ourselves.
Right. Because
We
Black people buy Adidas, don't they?
Yeah, but we were talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? We were talking about it, and we did not call for him to be dropped from Adidas. We told him to be quiet. We told him to shut up.
Shut your damn mouth.
Down. Okay? We told him how we felt about him, and we told him we weren't going to buy his things. That's what we did. Okay? Now, when it came time for us, why do you want us to make? No, we shouldn't ask for any more than we asked for when he disrespected us.
That's right.
Shut up.
I agree.
Sit down.
Right.
Be quiet.
Right.
Don't do that anymore.
That's right.
Yeah, deal with it. The way we have to deal with it.
Come on.
We have to look at his face and deal with what he was saying. Right. We had nobody demanding anything from him but us. And all we demanded was accountability.
That's right.
Shut up. Sit down. And we will not buy your stuff until you do.
That's right.
What we were saying.
That's right.
But we were saying it alone.
That's right.
So I'm not okay with that part.
Okay.
We always have to be united for them.
Come on.
But when it comes to us, we have to be questioning. And no, we did the right thing with Kanye this time. We told him to be quiet. Sit down. Be careful. They gonna get you.
Mm-hmm.
We put a warning out. We told him. He's correct. Be quiet. Sit down. And we're not going to buy your things. Okay?
That's right.
That's what we did. And don't expect us to do anything more than what we did for our own selves.
Thank you.
I'm not demanding Adidas drop nothing. Right. They did it, and that's on them. Mm-hmm. And that's on him. I'm not demanding it. Taking his job away, doing all this. We have owners involved in prostitution. You have owners of these teams that are sleeping with subordinates.
Come on now.
You have all these things going on. But because he wants to express himself, you're going to silence him and break his pockets. And they're gonna watch, and we as a community are gonna talk about it.
Yes, we are.
Community are going to be outraged.
Absolutely, as we should.
Once again, going to be on our own.
As always.
And that's just how it is. So I don't understand this black and brown pride. I don't understand that because they don't have that. They don't have that. Trust me. They don't have that. I grew up on the West Side. You know this.
Yes, I do.
I watched the transformation of that West Side from dominating black people, black business, black churches, dwindle. And now it is almost all Hispanic except for the church activities,
It is.
Like that. So what I'm going to put out there is that I was one of the last black people.
Yes.
To leave that community.
You was.
And it gets me going.
I know.
Going.
Let it get you going. I'm listening.
I have firsthand experience of being the only black family in an apartment complex with all Hispanic people.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I understand that this is going to be hurtful for some people to hear. And you're going to be bothered by my experience, but it is mine. Okay?
And it's yours. You're
It's
right.
disrespectful as a community
Oh.
to our family. Okay? They were uninviting and unwelcoming. They were nasty and hurtful to
Mm.
us. That's my
Wow.
experience.
Yeah.
That's
And can't nobody take that away from you.
I mean, but that's my experience.
It is.
Experience of me, my brothers, and my grandmother, and my mother
That's right.
as being the last Black family there. I had my daughter. My daughter was very bright colored when I brought her home.
And she was.
And were out and they were anxious to see my baby. But they were anxious to see my baby saying, "Oh, oh, uh, Mexican, Mexican." And I
Oh
caught
my
it
God.
right away. I caught it right away.
Wow.
The men were always hitting on me,
Yeah.
right? I'm not clearly not interested, but that doesn't stop the women from becoming jealous and suspicious.
Right.
So that's why they wanted to see my baby.
And back then you did kind of have a big tush.
Yeah, yeah. I'm trying not to let that dwindle away. Okay. But I let her know black. Huh. I made
Right.
I said, no, black. And she said, "Oh, yeah, well, you were just as disgusting to me, you know."
Wow.
And so that's the experience that I had.
Oh,
So
that's awful.
and moving into adulthood and having to deal with different situations, it's not a black and brown pride thing where I stand.
Right.
Black thing. It always has been, and it's seeming like it always will be a black thing.
I agree with you honestly. I feel that you know, it's funny to me how people want to ride with you when it's convenient. They want some of those civil rights when they know good and well civil rights and that culture and civil rights. Stop it. You know,
Yeah.
but that's what they do. That's what they do. They really do. So I think that that's a good story to end our show with.
Uh, I hate.
Now that gets deep, and that's a whole nother
Listen.
show on its own.
I
And we really need to talk about that. Is
I
why is it that when it comes to Black people, we ride for ourselves,
yeah.
but when everybody else have issues, they want to jump on the civil rights bandwagon.
Yeah. And listen, I don't want to leave anyone confused. I have a problem with any group of people being mistreated, right? Just because they are here, right?
Right,
Just because they exist, which is our situation, just because we exist. So that's awful. My stance is that I don't have a problem with how they're being mistreated more than I have a problem with how my people are being mistreated.
right,
That and I hope that's understandable, right? I have a problem
absolutely.
with the mistreatment, period. But if when we dissect it, I'm going to say, let the mistreatment flow through us all then,
Well, there it
not
is.
us.
Well, there it is. And are those your final remarks?
Those are my final remarks. I'm sorry they were negative, you guys. Next week or whenever I get the pleasure to
Yes.
speak again,
Matter of fact, we might come back on again this. Well, I guess maybe Sunday might be the start of a new week. But
I'll
listen, make sure. that you guys click that subscribe button so that you are notified when we are going live, okay? Make sure you do that because these are life-changing topics. This is stuff that's going to change your life. This is stuff that's going to get you to where you got to go in the future. We talked about a lot of things tonight. And again, I did endorse Tariq Nasheed's a book. I wish I had have read that book along with a couple of other people that have written books.
Hmm.
Dr. Claude Anderson and those heavyweights in the game that has been telling us for years and years and years about how things were gonna go and how they're gonna be, and we've just we some of us we've taken a blind eye to it. Some of us don't believe it's gonna happen to us, but we're living in this mess now, and
Right.
so get your children these books. I even bought my son books. I bought him books last year for Christmas. I bought him books so that he can gain knowledge on this stuff too, so he knows what to expect going into the workplace until he's able to become an entrepreneur.
Right.
So get your kids these books. And what I'm also going to do too is update the link to this stream with some of those books that you can share with your children
Nice.
to give you that. But in the end, we're gonna go ahead and close. Thank you very much for being with us. We'll come on again live, hopefully this weekend. So again, click that like and subscribe button for us, and then we're gonna end it on that note.
All right. You guys have a great night, and I look forward to conversating with you all again. And I promise to have a more positive, we'll be over the election nonsense and everything. So maybe we'll be in a better, more happy zone.
Oh no, you did very well. Sometimes it be like that. Sometimes we talk about heavy conversations and heavy topics, and this is what happens. But
Right.
this is reality. Things are heavy, and we need to get on it and move and move accordingly to some of these things that are happening to us. So we'll continue to talk about the topics and bring you real life things, real life changing topics. So have a good evening, everybody. Good night, Karen. And thank you for your love, your patience, your kindness. And again, like and subscribe. Peace.
Good night.